Another landmark year for Queensberry. 2025 was a fantastic one, and I'm here today with the man who was steering the ship and is sailing towards a big 2026, Mr. Frank Warren. How are you, sir?
I'm good, young man. You good?
I'm good. Good to see you.
And you?
So much to talk about. I mean, for me, top of the list right now is you've ended the year with a world heavyweight champion in Fabio Wardley.
Started off with one.
You started with one and you've ended with one. And
Every year we've had a heavyweight champion.
you think Tyson Fury, Dubois, Wardley.
But the number one heavyweight is still holding on to a few of the belts, and we're after those.
What a success story, though, in terms of Fabio Wardley. Could you have imagined at the start of the year, December 31st,
No.
it would be him?
No, and the way he's done it, I mean, he's done it in an amazing style. You know, he's such a dangerous sod, and and gutsy and ballsy, and when you look at the lack of experience, or no experience as an amateur, just going straight in the deep end as a pro, learning on the job, and beating which he did in Joe Parker, emphatically beating the world's number two heavyweight. In most of the governing bodies, the mandatory challenger, and done it in style and coming from behind again. He's such a dangerous fighter.
So from underdog to top dog, although not quite, because Usyk does have the remaining belts.
Well, he's a top dog. Of course, he's a top dog. I mean, he's done everything that's been asked for him, undefeated, but then so's Fabio. It'd have been great to have got the both of them in the ring, two undefeated heavyweights in the ring, but. It was a risk and reward thing, I suppose, as far as Alex was concerned, and it's a shame really, because I think that fight would have done massive business, because of the fact that Fabio's so excited. He's never in a dull fight. I think he's got the knockout of the, two knockouts of the year, wasn't it? He's had, and he's just an exciting fighter, as is Alex. Been in some great fights, so I'm a bit sad that fight didn't happen.
Could it still happen?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see where we go. It's the top echelon now of fighters who, probably feel that they've done enough to sort of stamp their mark and, make their mark in history, who they are. A lot of them now are looking for fights. It's professional boxing, fights that may be gimmick fights. They may be, all sorts of things to get huge money that gets people's attention. A bit like, AJ. And Jake Paul, it's that type of fight, and you're looking at it and thinking, and everyone's saying, what an easy job that is for AJ on paper and so forth, which it is. But then you look what a tough job for an undefeated, another guy with no amateur experience in Jake Paul. He's stepping up to the plate, jumping in with a two-time world champion. So you've got to take your hat off to him. I mean, it's a big ask that he's got, but that's where we are, and there's these type of fights that are going on, and it's I don't know. There's a little bit of distortion, I think, at the top level with some of the fighters.
Let's stick on that AJ Jake Paul point. This is the last time we can talk about it before it happens tonight. You got your popcorn ready? Will you be setting your alarm? Will you be going to stay up?
If I'm awake, I'll watch it. If I don't, I'll watch it later. I mean, I mean that with the greatest respect to them. I keep saying it's car crash. It's a car crash fight. It's that you'll watch it. Of course, we watch it. But on paper, it's a massive mismatch on paper. That's on paper though. But Jake's fancies it. He's coming up yet another weight, no amateur experience. You look at his record, no significant names as such as, on it, and he's going in with a two-time world champion, heavyweight champion, big puncher, Olympic gold medalist. He's
odds are stacked against him, right?
But maybe he's looking at the last fight, where he got comprehensively beaten by Daniel Dubois, AJ, and because there is a chink in the armour. We all know that. That's why I wanted that fight so badly with him and Daniel. I've said that for years. There's a chink in the armour with him.
Jake is absolutely convinced he wins this fight. That's the thing as well.
He's got self-belief, but he's monetising. He's now jumping right into the deep end. And he's monetising his the reputation or or the repute that he has. He's monetizing it in a big way, and he's the one in America that they're all watching. I mean, they're not going to watch AJ. I mean, AJ in his last fight, as I just said, what it was, his debut in America didn't end well for him. So it's all about Jake, and Jake's a good, really good promoter.
How quickly does Anthony Joshua need to get rid of Jake Paul to emerge with his
If
reputation?
he's there at any time, if he's there for a while, then that's good, mate.
But what is it? 2 rounds? Is it if it goes beyond 2 rounds?
Look, he's had 12 fights.
So it should be like that.
You would think so. Look at Ngannou. Nganou's a natural heavyweight, a big
2
guy,
rounds,
and
he
he'd
got
done well. And then he went the distance with Tyson. Tyson, I would say how it is. It's something he didn't take too seriously. He got clipped, which can happen in fights, and may happen with it may happen if Jake gets lucky. But he got clips, and he came round and obviously then took control of the fight. But AJ Ngannou, he done what he had to do, and at that level, that's what he should be doing. He's still a top 10 ranked heavyweight. AJ,
he's not old, is he? He's 30. He's younger than the champion.
He is younger than the champion, and he keeps himself in good nick.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. But yeah, we will find out. This time tomorrow, we will know. Has the world changed forever? Has boxing, is there more chaos than ever?
Can I just tell you something? If he wins, say wins. What are we all supposed to do? Look at that with great awe. It's what he's expected to do, isn't it?
But if Jake Paul wins,
Paul wins.
Then that's
Jake
chaos.
Paul. I mean, it's two things. People say, "Oh, he's shot AJ," but you forget about that. If he wins, and that's a big if. But if he wins, that's a major upset.
Biggest ever?
Well, I would think it's got to be right up there. One. I mean, it's not like look, I think AJ's certainly not the fighter he was. But he is a fighter, a boxer. He's a trained boxer for many years. This is not Mike Tyson, who's been, puffing and blowing for God knows how many years, and then at the age of 58 comes out and he has a move around. This is a guy who's, is still a young man as far as being heavyweight is concerned, and he's got power.
Yeah, and ambition to become world champion again.
Well, he's got the ambition. I want to see him fight some of our guys. He fight Tyson. If he fights Tyson, I'd like to see him fight. I'd like to see him fight Fabio. I'd like to see him fight against Moses. I'd like to see him, fight Lawrence Okolie. All these guys. I'd like to see those fights. They're good fights to make for the fans. They're good quality fights. I'd like to see him do all those fights. But you're looking how much money he's earning for this fight, and how'd you match it? How'd you match that?
Maybe you just can't, yeah. But let's talk about Fabio then. Let's go back to Fabio. He is the world heavyweight champion now, and I guess the world is his oyster. You look at that WBO top 15, so many marketable fights out there where it's like every fight is a big fight. What have your conversations been like with Fabio?
I was supposed to have lunch with him this week, and unfortunately, baby was ill, and I hope she's better now. But met with his management and sat down with the team, Mike and Jay, and we know what we're going. I'm not going to obviously discuss that at the moment, but there's a plan, and he'll be out sometime late April, early May.
Okay, and you'd welcome an Anthony Joshua fight as well?
In a heartbeat.
Sure. Yeah.
Not if he gets beat though.
You'd welcome a Jake Paul fight, presumably.
Well, if Jake Paul beats him, I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
So that's Fabio. That is the world champion you're ending the year with. There is a future world champion by everyone's book in Moses Itauma, who's got a big fight coming up.
Got a tough fight coming up.
Yeah. We kind of learn a lot more in this fight.
You will do, because he believes in himself, Jermaine. He believes in himself. And he's never been stopped. He's only lost 2 fights, one against AJ, and against AJ, a younger AJ, a big puncher. He took his shots. He took AJ's shots, and he had a very close fight that a lot of people thought he might have edged against Dillian Whyte, and that was a few years ago. So they're tough. It's a tough fight for him. He just turns 21 next week, and he's starting the year off with a plan, and it is a plan. Hopefully he gets through this fight, and he'll be fighting for a world title next year.
So There's the WBC ordered him and Lawrence Okolie. Of course, Okolie's been talking about that fight, welcoming it. There is the Gassiev as well, who's just stopped Kubrat Pulev as well. It feels like there's so many options for Moses.
There's a load of options there, but he's got to focus on the 24th at the Co-op in Manchester, because he's in a fight on that Magnificent Seven show, which is a fabulous fight card. Really good matches there, some great fights. I mean, it's a boxing nuts dream, late Christmas present. But it's a fabulous card, and he's heading it up, as I say, in a fight that's going to answer a lot of questions with people.
Sold very well as well.
Sorry?
Sold very well as well, the arena.
We've only got a couple of thousand tickets left.
What an endorsement of his rising star power.
It shows what he's all about, and he is a young. He is a star. Funny, I was down in the West End yesterday. We were driving past Oxford Circus, and there's the Nike shop there, and there's a massive billboard, and I looked over, and it's Moses. I thought he's following me everywhere.
Well, he is the one that people are talking about. As much as they talk about, the big fights, you want to see this, you want to see that, never far from the conversation is, what about Moses? Wouldn't that be cool?
And that's it. But as I say, the 24th, we're going to see what about Moses.
Yeah, and we're going to see what about Lawrence Okolie this weekend as well.
Yeah, it's out in Nigeria, in Lagos.
Ebenezer Tete, I guess this is a fight where he just needs to get the win, and then...
He needs to go out there and not get the win, he needs to go out and have an emphatic win. He had a bad injury in that last fight. I mean, you see the thing, it tore the muscle come away from his arm. It was an awful injury, and it hampered him. And I think he'd done well to keep his composure and get through and win the fight. But look, it's got to be a big year for him as well. I mean, all these guys, a lot of them are British. They're in great positions now. They're all knocking on that door, or they're at the garden gate now, and they're not far away from the front door of having. Getting the opportunity of fighting for world titles. And, Alex has still got 3 titles. He's going to have to defend them. The mandatories will be called. He's either going to defend them or he's going to vacate them. So whatever happens, the division's going to be buzzing. I don't want to see him vacate titles. I want to see him defend them. I want to see him defend against Fabio. But if he's going to vacate him, that's his privilege and his choice. And that's it. And, and the people who keep saying, oh, they strip people because that's not what it's about. You've got a mandatory defence. When you have a fight, you're told before who your mandatory is. It's no big shock to you. So if you don't want it, then don't fight for the title.
Just on Lawrence Okolie, from every impression that I've got on him the last couple of years, he seems to be a guy that just says yes. You can offer him any fight.
I'll tell you what, he don't. A conversation with him, he's never said no to anybody. And you get, I've been in this game a long time. I can talk to someone, you talk to the manager and you get a conversation. But when you talk to the fighter, you're talking to the fellow who's getting in the ring. And every fighter believes in themselves. But they might have that bit of doubt about fighting somebody, you never know. But I know when I'm talking to someone whether they fancy it or not. And I've got to say, everything with Lawrence, all he keeps saying, yeah, I'll have it.
Yeah, he
whoever.
Yeah, exactly. He seems willing to throw himself into the fire. He wants a bit of caviar. I think he's going to go out to Germany.
He's coming out to Germany. He hoped he gets through this on Sunday. He's out on DAZN. He's coming out to Germany. That's a sold-out event we got there. I mean, it's a fabulous, for us, we're not, dipping our toe in the water out there. It's a brilliant start. So hopefully he does the business. He comes through that. And then we got, we got Daniel Dubois. We got lots of, it's like a chessboard at the moment, all these heavyweights. So we're moving it to get everybody to fight each other. And it's not the end of the world if you get beat. If you get beat against a recognised heavyweight.
Yeah. I mean, on the Ajit Caviar, you must be over the moon with how well that has sold.
Yeah. It went out 2 days, gone.
Yeah, tremendous. So he's becoming a real star as well. Actually, speaking to him, because obviously he's the WBC interim champion, I spoke to him about the moment in the ring where Usyk put the interim belt on him, and he said, yeah, this is cool, but I want yours. Yeah. And he feels that him being able to sell out Germany in 2 days has shown that he is a marketable option for Alexander Usyk.
Fabio sold Ipswich out. I mean, there's 25,000 people. There's peeing down the rain. We lost the original opponent. When he come in, he had about 2-3 weeks notice. He came in, the weather weren't good, everything. But that's what he did. So could you imagine Fabio in with Usyk? Yeah, that's a Wembley. Mm-hmm. It's a Wembley. Because the people over here love Usyk. They come out for him. As much as they like the Brits as well, they like him. and they know when he's getting in the ring, you're going to get a good fight. So I don't buy into this, you know, that I need bigger things than that. There's money, you know, there's a big gate there, and I think people will, you know, you know, with DAZN, if we go pay-per-view with it on DAZN, it'll generate good money for the fighters.
How is Daniel Dubois? We need to see
That
this.
was his dad who just rang when I was on.
Whilst we were talking about Fabio Wardley, actually.
So his dad rang, Stan, and I'll call you back, Stan, if you see this before. We wanted to get him out. He had a little bit of an injury, so he'll be out, I think, at the end of March, April. So we're working on that, and again, no messing about with Daniel. He wants to go straight back in the big fight.
Yeah, there was at the Parker Wardley show, we had all the heavyweights on the stage, obviously, as well, and it seemed to be him who was just saying, "Yeah, let's go," and he wanted a bit of cabbie out there as well, which isn't normally a guy you seek out, but Daniel's up for it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's up for it. Look, because it's an exciting time. He's another one. You know, he's never in a boring fight.
No.
He's, you know, you get value for money. You go and watch the fight. He's in good fights, quality fights, and he'd been on a run. And unfortunately, he came against Usyk, and it wasn't his night. He wasn't there. But he's ready to go again, and he's still a young man. I think he's just turned 27 now. Was he maybe 28? Turned 28. So we've got to get him in a big fight. He's got to re-establish himself and show what he's all about.
He's in the WBO top 15.
Yeah, he is.
Champions Fabio Wardley, what a fight that would be.
They're all good fights. I mean, they're punches. They're all good quality fights. So, you know, that's what we want to deliver. I mean, these are fights where you can get them in big venues. They're fights that appeal to the fans, and they're about what we want to deliver to DAZN, who's our broadcaster, and to their subscribers.
Yeah, it feels like there's so many there just kind of looming. You could just hit go, and you know you're going to make a tremendous fight that will sell out.
That's what we're trying to do.
What about Derek Chisora? What can you tell us?
Well, he's got his 50th fight. He's supposed to have been fighting this weekend, and we couldn't do it. You know, we was there, and then there was a little bit of messing about, not from our end, and that was it. We unfortunately we didn't have time to put anything else together. We had to cancel the show, push our show back. He has got his 50th fight, and there's quite a few options there, and I'm hoping that will get sorted out over the holiday.
Well, there was a moment where there was obviously a show in Dubai. Him and Deontay Wilder came together on the stage, had a little bit of a test of strength, I think, but it got a lot of attention, of course, because people would want to see that fight. Is that an option?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's an exciting fight. I mean, you know, Deontay against Fabio. That's another one. Two big bangers, and both pull it out the bag. You know what I mean? That's how they fight. They're dangerous at any time in a fight. That's another one which would press all the buttons.
That would be tremendous. I actually remember on the Chisora Wilder fight, you sort of had that done quite a number of years ago, right? It was meant to happen 2012, 2013, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So a bit of a rivalry that's been building up for years, eh?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about David Adelaide? What's the deal?
Well, he's supposed to have been fighting in Africa. He didn't get there was a problem with his not problem medically, he just didn't get it done in time. And anyways, that fight's not on. So he'll be out in the new year. I spoke to him a couple of days ago, and I said we'll get together after Christmas.
Okay.
Sort out what he's, this year, what we're going to do with him.
The other one, final on the heavyweights, is of course the Gypsy King, because I'm seeing news stories every day. I'm seeing rumours. I'm seeing him make videos now, which is something new, where he's talking about how he'd knock out Anthony Joshua if their paths ever crossed. It's good to hear from him. Are we going to see him?
I think so. He's indicated. Well, he said he wants to fight. He said that's what he wants to do. Just about sorting out the terms of the deal.
So that Anthony Joshua fight, pending Anthony Joshua beating Jake Paul, which most of the world expects, feels realistic then for 2026.
Well, you would think it. I mean, that's how it is, and then that fight would happen in the summer, late summer. Because I mean, he said himself, AJ, he's going to have another fight. Tyson's not going to sit on his bum. If he's going to if he's having a fight, then he's going to have one himself.
And just on that, right now, 2026, in your heart of hearts, Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua, how does that fight go?
Providing Tyson gets what he's asked him for, it'll happen. If he don't get it,
But on the fight itself, ding ding, first bell.
You're only going to forget about the first. To get to the first bell, you've got to pay the man what he thinks he's worth. If you don't get what he thinks he's worth, you're not even going to get to the press conference, let alone ding ding.
So here's hoping. Here's hoping.
Of course, that's what everybody wants to see. If he's coming back, that fight's going to happen. It wants to happen now, or at least at the age that they are now. I wouldn't hate them to come back, say, 5-6 years later, like some of these guys are doing, when they'll be well past their prime. You want to see them fight when they're they've still got some life in them, and and the fight's still a hot fight.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands, he's coming off a close fight with Alexander Usyk, but it's been a year, so you'd want him to probably have one before.
They were close fights, very. Yeah, well, if AJ's having this fight tonight, he was fighting again in February, so Tyson's not going to sit on his backside. He'd been out of the ring for nearly 2 years by then, so he'll want to. Of course, he'll want to get the rust out of his system.
Well, let's speak about Hamza Shiraz, because this is a man. He's on a mission. World title.
He's WBO put it out.
Yeah, WBC and
the WBO,
Crawford's
both put
vacated.
it out. Yeah, he's out now. Crawford's vacated the belts, so he's there and he's got great options there, and we're making him on. I like the fights. I like him with both the guys. I like the BO one because it's Queensberry against Matchroom. I like that one, but let's get it on.
So that would be against Pacheco. So Pacheco's coming off that win. You don't see anything that troubles Hamza there, or you just
they're
think
good
it's a good
fighters.
Fight? Yeah.
They're both good fighters, but I like Hamza. I think Hamza's very comfortable at the weight. He was struggling to do the weight, as we see with that fight he had in Riyadh, where he was got that draw, and he was fortunate there, but he was struggling, as you can see. But look what he did in New York, in the other guy's backyard. I mean, that was a classic boxing, classic performance from him, and he'd done so well. I was very proud of him that night.
Would you back him against anyone at 168 pounds now?
Yeah.
Because Crawford's gone now. Canelo's still there. I guess he's probably seen as number one, right?
I've always would fancy. I mean, Canelo has been a great fighter, but that fight he had out in Saudi with who's the guy who runs?
William Skull.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a very close fight. I thought he was giving him, problems, and he's saying he's a runner, but he was fighting to his skills, and I thought I don't think there was a lot in that fight, and in that fight I thought, you know what, he's getting hit too easily here, and he's just there ready to go.
Yeah, and you've seen that over years.
And I just felt that in the fight he was having with Crawford, that I thought the weight would be a big thing, but it wasn't. Crawford was magnificent.
Well, hopefully we'll get news soon. Any idea when we can hear on Hamza Shiraz? All these options he's got?
He'll fight very early in the first quarter.
So we should hear quite soon.
Yeah.
Denzel Bentley, a weight division below. There's that middleweight division just seems to be, no one really knows what's going on right now with Janibek and everything that's going on with him.
Well, he's got a problem, hasn't he?
He's got a problem. So where does Denzel Bentley fit into this?
He's got his problem, and if he can't clear that up quickly, he'll have to be stripped of his title, and Denzel will fight for the vacant title. Denzel's there, and he was very unlucky against Janibek coming. Those 4 rounds in that fight, the first 4 rounds, he sort of was. You can see he was feeling him out. I think if he'd have stamped on him a bit more, he's a foreign, he'd have won that fight.
Yeah, experience.
Yeah, of course
it's a different fighter now, as is Sam Noakes, because experience points.
Sam Noakes, I mean, look, he was in with a young man, 21-year-old fighter, bloody good fighter. He'd done well. He'd done extremely well. I'm not going to knock him in any way. But Sam, from that second or third round, hampered by a terrible cut in a bad position. You got it there. You got the bloody line. He'd done magnificently well, and he was right in that fight. And he came back, and I know he hurt him, and he came out of that fight with more plaudits than going into it.
Yeah,
I knew he would give him a hard fight, and I fancied he could have won it. And when I was sitting at ringside, a couple of people said to me, "Oh, pull him out that cut." I said, "No, leave him. If the corner are handling it, which they were, that was a bad cut." But he settled down. Once he settled down, and Alan and the team done a good job with it. He started getting really back into the fight, and he certainly finished very, very strong.
Future is bright then for Sam Noakes.
Sorry?
The future is bright for Sam
Very
Noakes.
much so. I thought one of the judges' scoring was appalling in that.
We look forward to seeing Sam Noakes again. Let's talk about the show that you've announced now, February 7th in Liverpool. We seem to be going to Liverpool quite a lot now. Yeah. Nick Ball, 4th world title defence against Brandon Figueroa.
Yeah, the old wrecking ball against Figueroa, who's a bloody good fighter, very tall guy, big weight disparity, but that suits Nick. And, you know, and we keep him busy. He's had a little bit of a break this time. I think he needs it, but we're going to keep him busy in 2026. And it will be a good fight. That's another one where the styles will make the fights. And he won't have, you know, Brandon won't have to go looking for him, that's for sure.
We've got 4 UK world champions right now, male world champions. Nick Ball's the only one who's defended his title on his day. This will be defence number 4. He's pound for pound 1, 2, 3 in the UK right now, right?
Yeah, easy, yeah. Easy. I mean, he's done brilliantly. I mean, he's a champion. You know, he's done it at the highest level, that's for sure.
We had the press conference the other day because Andrew Kane is obviously going to fight Gonzalez in a final eliminator to take on Inoue's brother, and there is this feeling in the air, Frank, of Nick Ball versus Inoue and Andrew Kane versus Inoue.
Well, do you know what? 2 fights that I really do like, and I do like the fights, and it's great, you know, for Paul Stevenson. I mean, he's done brilliantly up there. He's a really good quality trainer. You know, we've got some good trainers over here, and coaches. There's a difference between a trainer and a coach. You know, guys who actually, you know, not getting you fit and whatever, they actually are coaches and can teach the art of boxing, and he gets the best out of his fighters. And again, he deserves it. He deserves what he's doing.
Teacher is the right word. I've been up to that Red Triangle gym, and he's got a room where he's got the screen and he puts old videos on, and they're all sat down like it's school. They're just watching. So you're almost waiting for someone to put their hand
That's
up.
what you do. You look at old fights. You know, look at fighters, and you look at them and see what they do. You know, you can see what they should be doing. But when you look at the great fighters, and you pick up things. A little bit of plagiarism, it might be whatever, but you learn from it. You can see it, and that gives you inspiration.
Another one on that show, Jack Turner. He's started to turn a few heads now. There's something wild about him.
I don't think, when you say it's wild, I think it's like a controlled wild. I mean, he can whack, that's for sure. And that last fight I thought was good for him.
Yeah, a controlled wild man. I like that. That's kind of what he is.
Yeah, but he's got this, like, he gets that little bit of mad-eyed thing about him, doesn't he? But I like him. He's exciting. There's some bloody exciting fighters up there, and that's going to be an exciting card.
Yeah, brilliant. What I want to just finish up on the light heavyweights. We've got Ezra Taylor taking on Willie Hutchison. What a brilliant fight that is, and there's Buatsi lurking as well. There's so much going on.
Well, that light heavyweight division's on fire, isn't it? There's some good fights there. We're making them happen. You know, Willie and Ezra that's a great fight to watch. I mean, it's a good, it's a bloody good even money fight. I'm looking forward to it. It's a great card.
Where does Buatsi sit in this? Because obviously we saw the order from the WBC.
He's the champion. He came away with a prize, and number one, he came away with a prize, and there's some big fights again for him to be made.
Look forward to it. That division is on fire. Finally, we're off to the races, Frank. What's going on here?
Well, we're the Jockey Club. We've done a deal with them. We're basically promoting, helping them jointly promote the Derby meeting. So you've got the Friday and the Saturday, you've got the Oaks, and then the Saturday you've got the Epsom Derby. And we're going to be putting events on the hill, which is in the centre of course, and to try and we will bring a big crowd there, bring people in, get families there, big day out. We're going to put entertainment on. You've got, for a horse racing, you've got the blue ribbon race. That's always been part of the calendar, going back how many hundreds of years, the Derby, and for me it's quite nostalgic, because when I was a kid I used to work there. With my dad and my uncles, they used to have the pitches on the hill, they worked them, and I used to get up there as a kid and bet or work as the outside man, and or outside boys I was, and it's quite it's quite a privilege for me, and to be involved with such a historic meeting at a historic venue, to be able to get involved in making it even bigger than it is, and it is massive, is a great challenge and something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
It'd be really really exciting for everybody who goes there. They won't be disappointed. There'll be something for everybody there. No car parking fees anymore. Under 18 you don't pay, so it's going to be a great day out.
Okay.
Something for everybody.
Yeah. Look, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll
We'll bring the Queensberry touch. We're good at promoting and delivering big events, and this is what we'll do.
What is your Christmas message to fight fans, Frank?
Christmas message is thanking all of the fight fans who've either bought tickets and come live or watched us on the Zone, thanking them for their support. And the message is next year is going to be even bigger. It's going to be a great year for British boxing. You can see some of our guys who we've invested in, I hope, deliver and become world champions, and see some spectacular fights, certainly some of the ones we've talked about. I hope we can get them over the line.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, my son.
Right.
Merry Christmas to everybody.